Why does your dog sleep with you? Have you ever bought your dog a soft bed, placed it in the perfect corner, and then watched your dog ignore it completely? A few minutes later, that same dog may be pressed against your legs, lying across your feet, or slowly taking over your pillow. It can feel sweet, funny, and a little unfair when you are left with 10% of the mattress. But why does your dog choose to sleep with you when other places are available? The honest answer is not simply because your dog loves you, and it is not automatically because your dog sees you as the leader of a pack. Research points to several possible reasons, including attachment, safety, familiar smell, comfort, and routine. The reason may also change from one night to another. The first strong explanation is attachment. In 2013, Lisa Horn, Ludwig Huber, and Friederike Range published The Importance of the Secure Base Effect for Domestic Dogs. In the first experiment, 20 pet dogs worked with a food puzzle while their owner was absent, silent, or encouraging them. In the second experiment, 26 dogs completed similar tests. But the researchers also added an unfamiliar person in place of the owner. The dogs spent more time working with the puzzle when their owner was present. An unfamiliar person did not create the same effect. The researchers called this an owner-specific secure base effect. In simple words, the owner's presence helped the dogs feel secure enough to continue exploring and working. Horn and her team did not test dogs in a bedroom, so their study does not directly prove why a dog sleeps beside a person. Still, it gives us a careful explanation. A dog that uses its owner as a secure base while awake may also choose to rest near that owner. That is an inference from the evidence, not a fact proven for every dog. Some dogs may strongly prefer sleeping beside their owner, while others may feel completely safe sleeping in another room. Another 2013 paper gives more evidence that owners can provide safety. Marta Gazzi, Catalin Maros, Sophie Cernquist, Tomas Farago, and Adam Miklosi published Human Analog Safe Haven Effect of the Owner, Behavioral and Heart Rate Response to Stressful Social Stimuli in Dogs. They tested 30 dogs while a stranger approached them in a threatening way. Each dog faced the situation once with its owner present and once while separated from the owner. The researchers recorded behavior and heart rate and found evidence that the owner reduced the dog's stress response. This does not mean your bedroom is dangerous. It means that for some dogs, being close to a trusted person may make relaxation easier. A more direct sleep study was published in 2025 by Luca Baragnai, Ivailo Iochev, Ferenc Gombos, and Anna Kiss. Its full title was Family Dogs Sleep Macrostructure Reflects Worsened Sleep Quality When Sleeping in the Absence of Their Owners. The team tested 9 family dogs in 3 sessions that each lasted 3 hours. During one test session, the dog slept with its owner in the room. During another, the dog slept with a friendly stranger while the owner waited outside. The researchers used non-invasive polysomnography to record the dog's sleep stages. That means they measured the dog's brain activity and sleep without surgery or sedation. When the owner was absent, the dogs took longer to fall asleep, had lower sleep efficiency, and spent less time in deep non-REM sleep. That 2025 result is probably the closest research we have to the question in this video. It suggests that an owner's presence can change how some dogs sleep, especially in an unfamiliar place. But only 9 dogs were tested, and each session lasted 3 hours in a research setting. The study did not compare sleeping against the owner with sleeping on a separate bed at home. The correct conclusion is smaller. In this group of 9 dogs, the owner's presence was connected with faster and deeper sleep than the presence of a friendly stranger. Your smell may be another reason your dog chooses your bed or your side of the couch. Gregory Burns, Andrew Brooks, and Mark Spivak tested 12 dogs in Scent of the Familiar, an fMRI study of canine brain responses to familiar and unfamiliar human and dog odors. The dogs were trained to stay awake, still, and unrestrained inside an MRI scanner. Each dog smelled 5 scents: its own scent, a familiar dog, an unfamiliar dog, a familiar human, and an unfamiliar human. All 5 scents activated areas connected with smell, but the familiar human scent produced the strongest response in the caudate nucleus, an area connected with positive expectations. The familiar person was not standing beside the dog during the scan, so the smell alone had meaning. The study did not involve pillows or sleep, but it supports a reasonable idea. Sheets, blankets, clothing, and mattresses that carry a familiar person's scent may have a positive meaning for a dog. This may help explain why a dog sometimes lies on your clothes or moves into the exact place where you were sitting. The study shows that familiar human scent can produce a special brain response. It does not prove that scent explains every sleeping choice. In 2015, Miho Nagasawa and colleagues published Oxytocin Gaze Positive Loop and the Coevolution of Human-Dog Bonds in the journal Science. In the first experiment, 30 dog owner pairs spent 30 minutes together. Pairs who shared longer periods of eye contact showed larger changes in urinary oxytocin, a hormone involved in social behavior, than pairs who shared shorter periods of eye contact. However, the study was about eye contact and interaction, not sleeping in a bed. It supports the wider idea that friendly contact can be part of the dog-human bond, but it does not prove that every bedtime cuddle releases a certain amount of oxytocin or causes a dog to sleep beside its owner. There are also simple physical possibilities. A human bed is usually soft, raised from the floor, warm, and covered with familiar smells. A dog may choose it because it feels good. A small dog or a dog with a thin coat may enjoy warmth on a cold night, while the same dog may move to a cooler floor during hot weather. But none of the direct studies used in this video tested mattress softness or body heat as the main cause of bed sharing. Warmth and comfort are reasonable possibilities, not proven explanations. Routine may matter too. A dog jumps onto the bed, receives petting, finds a warm blanket, and is allowed to stay. When the same result happens night after night, going to bed with you can become part of the evening pattern. The research discussed here did not directly test habit as the cause, so it is more accurate to say routine may help maintain the behavior after it begins. It may not explain why the dog chose your bed the first time. The Creative Science article that inspired this video says dogs sleep against people because of pack mentality, warmth, protection, trust, and affection. The article is useful as a collection of ideas, but its strongest pack and bodyguard claims are not supported by a direct sleeping experiment. Its pack section names Love to No Pets as the source rather than a peer-reviewed study. That does not make every idea false. It means we should not tell viewers that a dog is definitely protecting its human or treating the family like a wolf pack simply because it sleeps nearby. Sleeping beside you also does not automatically mean your dog has separation anxiety. Naomi Harvey and colleagues described separation-related behavior in their 2022 paper, Impact of Changes in Time Left Alone on Separation-Related Behavior in UK Pet Dogs. The behaviors they examined included barking or howling, pacing, going to the bathroom indoors, and destroying household items when dogs were left without human company. The key part is that the distress happens during separation. A dog that sleeps on your bed but stays calm when you leave may simply prefer closeness. A dog that panics, vocalizes for long periods, damages exits, or cannot settle alone may need a veterinary or behavioral assessment. The same caution applies to guarding. A relaxed dog choosing to sleep beside you is different from a dog that becomes stiff, blocks another person, growls, shows its teeth, or snaps when someone approaches the bed. Those warning signs should not be turned into a romantic story about loyalty or protection. The dog may be guarding a valuable resting place, access to a person, or both. Sleeping close is not the problem by itself. The complete pattern of behavior is what matters. There is one final question. Does letting your dog sleep with you improve your own sleep? In 2017, Salma Patel, Bernie Miller, Heidi Kosiarek, James Parrish, Philip Ling, and Lois Cron published The Effect of Dogs on Human Sleep in the Home Sleep Environment in Mayo Clinic Proceedings. They studied 40 healthy adults without sleep disorders and their dogs for 7 nights. Both the people and dogs wore movement trackers. The participants maintained generally good sleep efficiency when one dog stayed in the bedroom. However, human sleep efficiency was lower when the dog slept directly on the bed instead of elsewhere in the room. A larger study gave a more negative result. In 2024, Brian Chin and colleagues published Co-Sleeping with Pets, Stress and Sleep in a nationally representative sample of United States adults in Scientific Reports. The final sample included 1,591 adults and 758 reported sleeping with pets. People who slept with pets reported poorer sleep quality and more severe insomnia symptoms. The negative pattern was connected more clearly with dog co-sleeping than cat co-sleeping. However, the study was cross-sectional, so it could not prove that dogs caused the sleep problems. People who already sleep poorly may be more likely to invite a pet into bed. So, why does your dog sleep with you? The best answer is usually a mix of attachment, familiar scent, physical comfort, social contact, and learned routine. In some situations, the owner's presence may also help the dog settle, but the behavior does not automatically prove protection, dominance, or separation anxiety. To understand your dog, look at what happens before bedtime, how the dog behaves when alone, whether the behavior has changed, and whether the dog looks relaxed or tense. The next time you wake up with a paw on your back and almost no blanket left, remember that your dog is probably not following one simple rule. Your dog may be choosing the place that feels safest, smells most familiar, offers the best comfort, and has produced good experiences many nights before. That may not sound as dramatic as saying your dog is guarding you from danger, but it is more honest, more useful, and still a meaningful sign of the relationship you have built together.